All right, now we're moving into the collection stage of the sales call framework. This stage is so important because this is the easiest way to talk yourself out of the sale is in this particular stage. And the reason why is because at this point, all the actual information should be gathered. The majority of limiting beliefs should have been shifted. Obstacles, time frames, lack of urgency should have all been addressed. And all the decision makers are on the call that need to be. Everything is in alignment for you to cross the finish line and collect the cash on this call to be able to sell whatever it is you're selling. Now, what ends up happening in this stage is so many sales reps want to talk more because they get really excited that the sale is about to happen. So they end up kind of talking themselves out by saying too many things, or you feel like you need to justify by adding more information and get a little bit like, not defensive or protective, but you're having to feel like you have to explain yourself more than you do in order for them to understand you. But the reality is at this stage is you want to be quiet, less information is better. And the reason why is because if somebody hears something, if a prospect hears something new that they have not heard before, or that gets them to question or think about something differently, then now they're not entirely sure what they want to do. And a confused buyer always says no. And we want to avoid them getting into this state. So we want to keep everything we say short and sweet. We want to be able to present the price point to what it is we're dealing with at this stage of the call, because we've already done all of the, if you will, selling. We've already done the information gathering, overcame all the limiting beliefs, objections, everything we just said, right? So at this point, it's a matter of just collecting the cash. Now, there's a couple things you are going to deal with right now though, because this stage of the sales call is almost like its own sale, because you're dealing with two things. Number one, do they have the money? Number two, are they comfortable with spending the money? And then if you get to a point where you have to figure out how to get them some leverage if they don't have the money, which is helping them acquire debt, OPM, using other people's money, some people are not familiar with that. So when you get to a point at this stage of the sales call and you're having to explain to somebody and shift their limiting beliefs around money, because their relationship with money is always that debt is bad. If I acquire more debt, then I'm gonna be in a worse off position. But the truth is, if everyone talked about debt, saying that debt pays them, everyone would be comfortable with debt, because that's what good debt is. Good debt pays you. Bad debt doesn't. Liabilities, like your car or a personal house or a watch, okay? That's all bad debt. Mostly. So what we want to do is at this stage of the call, speak less, go through, help shift the limiting beliefs, understand if they have money or they don't have money, and then we'll be able to go in and ask for the sale. It's so important to just make sure you ask for the sale. Okay, so let's go through a quick role play. You can watch how I handle this entire process. And then after that, I will debrief this process and let you know why I said the things I said, which are verbal cues, and then how I delivered it, which are nonverbal cues, tone, cadence, and body language. See you on the other side. Before we transition into the role play, if you've already found this video helpful, I actually included the sales script to go along with this video in the description below, as well as other helpful resources that you can visit to help you elevate your sales game. All right, let's get into the role play. Get started. Either number one, you can use your own cash on hand to get started, or number two, you could have us fund the deal for you. For us to come in, build out the entire system, so this way you're not doing any cold outbound. We set up the funnels, the ads, all the inbound traffic. This way you don't have to go in and deal with finding those 12 appointments a week. The program is only $5,000 a month. Do you feel like you're leaning more into option one of paying this out of pocket, or option two, where we fund the deal for you?
I'd probably just pay it out of pocket.
Okay. Cool. In that case, which card do you want to put on file? Do you want to use like a debit card or one to gather the points with a credit card?
Yes. So just to make sure I'm clear, is this monthly? Is it month to month, or am I signing a term here?
This one will be month to month.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, cool. I can just throw it on an Amex to get some points.
Okay, perfect. In that case, welcome to the family. And the next thing I want to do is walk you through what onboarding looks like. So it's really clear on what is expected of you next, and what we're to be doing for you. Sound fair enough?
Cool. I'm excited to see what we can do here month one.
Sweet. Get started, either number one, you can use your own cash on hand to get started, or number two, you could have us fund the deal for you. For us to come in, build out the entire system, so this way you're not doing any cold outbound. We set up the funnels, the ads, all the inbound traffic. This way you don't. So when I talk about either you can get started by paying for it yourself, or you can get started by us funding the deal, that's because we have lending partners, and our lending partners will make sure people get approved for credit, and then we'll be able to get the credit dropped into our account based on what they're approved for. So if you don't have lending partners, you wouldn't make that suggestion, okay? You would just move on to the rest of this. And I always like to make sure that I start out with them knowing what it is that we're going to do for them with this solution. This way you don't have to go in and deal with finding those 12 appointments a week. The program's only $5,000 a month. Do you feel like you're leaning in more into option one of paying this out of pocket, or option two, where we fund the deal for you? So it's really important, whatever your price point is, whether it's $1,000 or $100,000, to make sure that it's casual when you say it, right? There's a saying I like to live by: it's only an issue if you make it one. So make it a non-issue by just saying it. Yeah, it's 100 grand. Yeah, so it's only 5 grand. Yeah, so it's just $1,000. Okay, it makes it sound really casual. So just practice that in the mirror if it feels uneasy for you and you're not used to asking for that kind of money, because maybe you're still in the mindset of like you're paying for this out of your own pocket. Because I know that is going to be a limiting belief struggle with sales reps that haven't made a lot of money yet, but they want to make a lot of money in sales because they don't have any money. They then project that onto the prospect. So very important to make sure you're confident. Let's keep going.
I'd probably just pay it out of pocket.
Okay, cool. In that case, which card do you want to put on file? Do you want to use like a debit card or one to gather the points with a credit card?
Yes. So just to make sure I'm clear, is this monthly? Is it month to month, or am I signing a term here?
This one will be month to month.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, cool. You just throw it on an Amex to get some points.
Now, if it's not month to month, my suggestion is at the end of the call, if you're selling contracts, is to offer them 3 options. And they'll say, yeah, so we basically got 3 options. We have option 1, which is like $2 grand a month for 12 months. Option 2 is $2,500 a month for 6 months. And option 3 is $3,000 a month for 3 months. So which one do you feel like you're leaning into? And then let them pick the option that they want. The whole idea of positioning it that way is to allow them to be able to pick the option against the fear they normally have. So they have fear of commitment because they've been burned, so they want a lesser contract duration, or they don't want to spend so much out of pocket, so they do a longer contract duration to spend less money every month. So you're going to be accommodating either of those avatars depending on their traumas, and then from there we're going to upsell to the next contract. They pick a 3 month, say, okay, great. Well, before we get started, just out of curiosity, what's stopping you from doing the 6 or the 12? They'll give you an option. Then you'll have the advantage to overcome their objection, make it a non-issue, and upsell the 6 or the 12 month agreement. And then if not, you can follow it up with, okay, no problem. We can start with the 3 month. What most people like to do is after the first month, when you see we're the real deal, you could then enroll in the 6 or the 12 month and just pay us less every month. Sound fair enough? This is referred to as downselling the upsell. So this is how I'd handle it if you sell contracts and you don't just sell like one price point. All right, so let's keep going. Okay, perfect. In that case, welcome to the family. And the next thing I want to do is walk you through what onboarding looks like. So it's really clear on what is expected of you next, and what we're going to be doing for you. Sound fair enough?
Cool. I'm excited to see what we can do here month 1.
Sweet. Get started. Okay, so that's it, and that's how you're going to handle collections. It doesn't normally go that smoothly, but if you've handled everything throughout the sales call the way I am training you to do right now, your call will go very smooth. You'll likely have 0 objections, and at the end of this call, it will most likely be strictly logistical, at which point it's a lot easier to negotiate through logistics than it is to try to negotiate through limiting beliefs or other smoke screens that they bring up to you that you actually cannot do anything about, right? So very important to make sure you go through the framework the right way. And I mean, if you're in any of our coaching programs for sales training, then obviously we will help you handle other situations that come up in this stage of the sales call. Hey, thanks for watching all the way through. I hope this video was helpful for you. You know, I make these videos to help everyone elevate their sales game, make more commissions, and generate record-breaking sales months of revenue. And just do me a quick favor, just go down, like the video, drop a comment of what your biggest takeaway was, and subscribe to my channel. And if you have a friend that's struggling in sales, you feel like this would help them, share the video. I wanted to drop a few more resources for you in the comments. If you do not already have my sales script on what we went over with this video, go down below in the comments. You can download it completely for free. And I also included a handful of other resources, some free, some paid, but this way you can accelerate your sales game even faster beyond what you are just watching these videos. So anyway, I'm hyped. Hope this helps you close more deals, and I'll see you on the next one.